be here back with another GCSS-A maintenance multiple operations video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And today we're continuing our series on the CMDP with publications. All right, so basically this is going to be broken up into several videos. The first video, we're going to show you guys how to set up your publications account, explain what the regulations say, pulling them directly from the checklist which we use for inspection. Now, your inspection sheets may vary. For us here in Fort Carson, we use the 3-core checklist. Maybe if you're JBLM, I've used their checklist. But overall, it's the same concept. All right, it's going to be the basic stuff here. So, like I said, we're gonna that's gonna be the first video. The second video, we're actually gonna go down to a publication library and show you guys how it's indexed, how it's set up, how the sign out sheet is, and so forth. And then I'm also going to show you in a separate video on how to easily index your publications, whether it be on a disk drive, SharePoint, something, so that you can actually find them in order to speed up the inspection during inspection time. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my my screen here. All right, publications, right? So this is probably one of the easiest areas of the CMDP to manage and pass. I can't tell you though how many times I've seen units fail this because they do not have the publication on hand. They don't have a publications account. It's stupid. It's just really easy to pass. All right. So here you can see these are the mandatory regulations that if you look at your CMDP checklist, it's going to tell you what regulations, what publications, DA-PAMs, technical bulletins, all that stuff that you need on hand to pass the inspection. So it's like free chicken, it tells you, right? So like I said, it's going to be all your ARs, your DA-PAMs, your technical bulletins. Now for us, you know, we fall under 3-core, so we're going to have to use 3-cores for some of their policies, right? So basically, right, website access. So every checklist out there is going to ask you if you can access, you know, the 3-core or the I-core, whatever websites that you have, right? Can you access Army publication website? Can you access the medical regulations? And also, you know, LOGSA, ASIP, right? Do you have an ASIP account? I can't tell you how many times I inspect in units that they do not have a ASIP account, all right? So it's pretty simple. Just a start request, simple, right? So we're going to start getting into the regulations here. So the first regulation that pops up when you're looking at your publication checklist is DA-PAM 750-1, right? So you look at paragraph 5-3, the technical manuals, right? So unique to each unit, right? No one checklist can identify the specific maintenance requirements for all commodities or equipment systems. Each equipment system has its own TM, ETM, or IETM, right? Army policy is complying, all right? So just keep that in mind. Every piece of equipment has an appropriate manual, right? So look again more into 750-1 and paragraph 6-4, where it actually talks about technical publications. It's for technical publications under Alpha. TMs are available in multiple formats and numerous resources, right? Paper technical manuals, paper TMs are available for operator manuals, which is your 10 manuals, you know, your wiring diagrams, your schematics, your safety, technical bulletins, all that stuff, right? Operator manuals, for example, that's your 10 level, right? Or your 1-2 or your 1-3, right? Keep that in mind. And then, of course, you know, in your publication library, you're going to have all your ETMs and IETMs, right? So make sure we index those. Make sure we have accountability of that stuff, right? Technical bulletins, compact disc. All right. So as you see, there's multiple formats for publications, right? So as a publication, and especially as a maintenance manager, if you're running a motor pool, you need to stay on top of this. And you need to make sure that all your regulations and publications that you have on hand are the most up-to-date and current. We look into DA-PAM 750-3, you know, a unit's management of its own publication account, okay? So it's the individual unit's responsibility to maintain a publications account. Operators must have a current TM for proper equipment operating and performing PMCS, right? So we all know the roadside inspections happen. You know, one of the first things they ask for, where's your 10 manual, right? So we need to make sure we have these in order, right? Maintenance managers need ARs, DAPAMs, FMs, supply catalogs to ensure doctrine and federal law. So just keep that in mind, right? So, like I said, everything we do has some type of regulation or publication that we do on a daily basis, right? At a minimum, a field maintenance operation should have the following: one operator manual, 10 and lube order for each piece of equipment with posted changes, right? One set of TMs and LOs for each combat repair team, field maintenance team, and one complete set of TMs, LOs, FMs, technical bulletins, supply, and AR for field maintenance platoon section headquarters. Okay, so you should have at least one set for a vehicle. All right. There should be enough manuals on the maintenance personnel do not need to leave their work state or workstation, work site to use a manual. Okay, the DAPAM 25-30 provides the maintenance manager with all needed publication information, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. All right. So we look at AR 750-1. The Army will provide a maintenance support device. Okay, that's your MSDs, right? Require. Okay, so run and play ETM, IETM. So if you get in with your TACOM, you know, most of the time your TACOMs are pretty friendly guys, and they will actually, you know, load all the stuff on here for you. All right. So make sure that your MSDs are current and up to date, so your mechanics are, one, not ordering the wrong parts, and two, speed up maintenance operations overall. So we look at AR 25-4-2, maintenance records and libraries. Record copies of publications and other permanent documents are described in ARM's RSS alpha and will not be maintained as part of the library. Okay. When extra copies are maintained in these collections, they should be distinctly marked library copy or museum copy. All right. So keep that in mind. We need to make sure that we mark our stuff accordingly. I'm a little anal when it comes to publications, libraries, so I normally put my ARMS label on my publications. I have it all labeled. All right. So here's again AR 25-4-2, where it just talks about, you know, what ARMS is. Labels may be created using record titles in ARMS or with working titles to best fit for business and references used in an office. All right. So basically, I'm not going to cover ARMS in this part. This is going to be a separate series where I'm actually going to show you how to set up your filing cabinets and all that stuff. But ARMS is extremely important. This is one area that I think every motor pool fails due to lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, and don't really understand, or don't really, I don't want to say care, but they don't emphasize good record keeping. Okay, so we need to make sure that we do that. So here's an example of an SOP that I did for publications when I was a motor sergeant. If you want a copy of this excerpt, let me know. But basically, you know, I labeled it was my chapter 10 publications. I talked about, you know, who was responsible, by responsibilities for who, so forth. And then this is continuation, but yeah, you need to mention publications in your SOP. It's one of the areas that must be mentioned in your SOP, all right? So now with that said, we're actually going to go into our next series, which is how to set up publications account, all right? So let's talk about publications here. So this is the agenda. We're going to talk about the flow chart, account setup, sub accounts, how to order, how to get statuses, what different codes mean when you're ordering publications and so forth, right? So basically, this is a simple flow chart. I'm the pubs clerk. What's next? Okay, so you know, of course, you set up your accounts. You contact your POCs or what organization or post organization you're at. You fill out your DA form 12. You set up your sub accounts, set up your POCs for your sub accounts, and you could keep going. You submit your DA form 17. You order the pubs. Ensure mailrooms know about the pubs. One thing I don't do, I don't go through my mailrooms. I have it shipped directly to where I want my publications. All right. So we all know that battalion and pubs seems like they make it there, but they never make it to you. All right. So I'm gonna show you how to get around that. Subscribing to pubs, teaching section POCs how to update pubs. Then we'll talk about pub status. You know what to do when with pub statuses, right? Receiving pubs from sub accounts, reorder, rectifying, receiving orders, distribution and accountability is a huge one when it comes to publications. All right, so you may issue 200 manuals, but do you actually know where those 200 manuals are? And then of course, pub account maintenance. I'm a public account. Like I said, what do I do? All right, so when you're assigned a publication clerk, there are a few steps you need to be accomplished. Okay, your DA Form 12R needs to be filled out according to standard. I'm going to show you an example on how to fill it out. You need to be appointed in writing as a publication officer. Okay, so submit your documents and find your local publication manager. I know for us here on Carson, usually our publications or ARMS guy is the same person, right? So make contact, like I said, set up a spreadsheet with the sub accounts, conduct training with your sections. So basically, this is everything you're going to do to set up your publications account. All right, to establish a publication account, send signed DA Form 12, right? So your DA Form 12, like I said, is the form that they use where you're actually going to get access to order publications. Like I said, you're going to contact your publication manager. If you cannot reach your publication manager, or therefore you actually can contact the MDD customer service desk, and their number and contact information is right here. So account setup, right? If encountering problems with your account, like I said, you can contact the POC. So here you go. So this is an example of the unit publication officer appointment memo, okay? So basically, just like everything we do in the motor pool and maintenance operations, you're going to have an additional duty memo or memo for it. Next thing is you fill out your DA Form 12, right? So if you look at block 7 Bravo, put primary alternate names in email, right? So you make sure you do that. Through so forth, this is how we do it here on Carson. Like you talk to your publication manager, they will more likely, if you contact them and go to their little 2-3 hour class, they're going to set you up with your DA Form 12. So most of this information is going to be pre-filled out for you. All right. So I know one thing is nice about being here on Carson, I can contact them and they'll come to my unit and they'll do a mass publications class for my battalion. So just keep that in mind. Okay, work with them. Like I said, setting up sub accounts. Okay, so basically sub accounts is pretty easy. Here's your form right here, your DA Form 17, right? So request for publication blank forms. Simple, pretty simple. You can download view forms at armypubs.army.mil. I'm sure y'all know that, APD. All right. So this is how the APD website looks when you first go there. And then once you're here, you can look here, go to forms. And you can look at all of the forms here, whether it be administrative, technical, doctrine, emergency, medical. Let's talk about ordering publications, right? So ordering publications, you're going to go to the orders pubs forms, go to ordering portal, right? So the password is always going to be your Fort Carson. Your account number is what you will get when your publication stuff is verified and confirmed. So at the account address verification screen, you always confirm address button. If you click update address, it will freeze your pubs account, right? So you're never going to update because it'll freeze it. You're going to just confirm. That's all you're going to do is confirm. Go search by pub number or title. So you can put in the pub number if you know the pub number, 9-2320-280-10-10 is your Humvee, right? So you can put this in here if you know the publication text, or you can just search by random keywords and so forth, right? So for example, here's your strikers stuff, right? Strikers, guided missiles, anti-tank, whatever it may be, right? So like I said, you can use the drop-down selection to refine your search if need be. So if the publication is authorized for distribution for your account, there'll be an authorized tab on the right-hand side. So if y'all look on the right-hand side, inventory status is authorized. Click authorize to place the order. If the product screen, check resupply and all changes block, right? So if there's a change, you'll automatically get it. For subscriptions, check subscribe block. Enter quantity, click add to cart. So basically here it is right here. So order only as resupply unless newly fielded item. Okay, that's important. Add quantity, like I said, the quantity you want. Input the sub account you're ordering for, and then all changes. And then if you need to subscribe, you can subscribe. Now to order subscription check block, add quantity, technical manuals on your MTO should be subscribed in order to reveal all updates, right? So it's pretty easy to go ahead and get a inventory of all of your MTO of what publications going to be needed. Now this is just isn't for trucks, power generation, heaters, pumps, and so forth. This is for your small arms, your Seaburn, your Commo, all the stuff we use. Like I said, you can put in your publication library. Like I said, Army publication no longer orders stock distribution SF forms. Okay, you need any certificates, AMs, RCOMs, you have to get them through the publication office. These forms are not part of normal publication ordering. So if you need these forms, you can contact your publication office and they will help you out. So here you are. Here's an example of your subscriptions, right? So basically, this is going to tell you everything you subscribe to. Publication ordering status. So if you go to ordering status, right, you'll look, it'll be EM000 DVD quantity 2, sub account 2, order status RJBP, right? So let's talk about ordering statuses. So if you look at PP, it indicates that a valid requisition has been received, okay, and the order is being processed. So there's certain codes that's going to tell you what's going on with your publications. So I know a lot of units say, hey, we're not getting our publications, but you need to make sure you're looking at what the status code is, okay? Like I said, there's quite a few of them. If you want to copy this PowerPoint, just let me know, all right? So what do you do with publication ordering status? Update your pub sub-account tracker with current statuses, ensure sub-account POCs, any canceled or rejected orders should be followed up with the pub's office, okay? So just keep that in mind. Pubs received in mailroom, issued to sub-accounts, updates tracker. So like I said, simple tracker, it's pretty easy. Nomenclature, equipment density, how many you have on hand, 10 levels, number on order, received, still pending, lube order. This is just a simple tracker that I built. If you want to copy this tracker, like I said, you're more than welcome to it. Like I said, here's another copy of your appointment orders. And that concludes our PowerPoint on publications. So as you see, publications is pretty easy to set up. All right. So once you get started with your DA Form 12, it's pretty simple. So like I said, in the next couple series of videos, we're actually going to go down, look at a publications account. I'm going to show you how to index your publications so that you have access to them and so forth. So hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all like this series so far. Like I said, I know publications is part of the CMDP is a little boring. We're going to get into some better stuff, fast-pacing stuff soon, very soon. So without further ado, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And as always, go Ordnance.